Hello fans from the Wheelchair Gang, Tharis here, and welcome back to another video. And this is a video I've somewhat been dreading for quite a while, I'll be honest, but I wanted to address it because it's a part of my past that obviously a lot of you may well be familiar with, and for those of you who aren't, I'm going to be delving into it in some level of depth today. But before we get into this video, if you could do me a teeny tiny little favour and click the subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. We're trying to get to 10k by the end of the year, and it would mean the world to me if we could do it, and I honestly believe that with your support we can do it. But with that said, let's get into the video. So, as the title suggests, I was part of the Not My Doctor group. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what a Not My Doctor is, I'll play a clip from my toxic positivity video, which basically explains the concept. There's a main group of toxic Doctor Who fans called Not My Doctors. Now, Not My Doctors can be defined by their frankly bigoted attitudes, whether it be sexism, racism, transphobia, homophobia, just a wide list of things that make them just nasty, horrible people to be around, who basically use their own bigotry to defame the current era of the show, rather than actually give it any constructive criticism. They just see it as something woke or SJW, rather than actually looking at it from a more critical point of view, i.e. talking about an episode's plot, or pacing, or acting, etc. Now, I want to clarify here, I wasn't one of the overt ones. I wasn't constantly spamming RIP Doctor Who 1963 to 2017. I wasn't, an overt sexist or anything like that. For some context, when I started making videos, I was 15 years old, and Series 11 was currently airing, and I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't quite know the reason as to why I didn't enjoy it. I just knew I didn't enjoy it. And at the time, the only people I saw who didn't enjoy it were the people who thought that it was because of the politics. So in my head, I thought, oh, well, that must be the reason then. Plus, I also thought, oh, these guys get a lot of views talking about this, which is a really bad mindset to have going into something like this. So I thought, well, I'll just do this as well. And that's like the first lesson I basically learned from this was never change yourself in order to fit in with other people, because in the end, you just end up betraying yourself and getting to a point where you don't even know who you are anymore because you've spent so much time trying to be something else. My first video came out December 1st, 2018. Which you're not able to see because it's deleted along with a lot of other videos from that time, because quite frankly, I don't think they're very good quality, and obviously they don't reflect my current opinion. For a little bit of background as to how I made videos back then, I literally used to get a screenshot of a clip on my phone from Doctor Who and basically just record over that, which is the most primitive form of video content I think I've ever heard of. It's debatable whether it was even video content to begin with, but still. I sort of enjoyed it, I didn't think much of it, and then one day randomly I had a video take off, which was a very politically clickbaity title, and it got like 3,000 views, which I just wasn't expecting. I was a channel with less than 100 subscribers, so getting 3,000 views out of nowhere was just like, whoa, okay. And of course, I'm not going to name anyone in this video, because quite frankly, I don't want to start any drama, but something you don't realise when people talk about Not My Doctors is that when you meet them, they just sound like normal people. I think it's very easy on the internet to dehumanize people and see people just as either good people or bad people, but there's always more to it than just that. But as time progressed, I saw little lines and little words dropped into conversations which I would then imitate, such as SJW, politically correct, things like that, which I didn't really know the meaning of. I was just copying it because it's what all the others were saying, and I felt the need to fit in, essentially. And it's something I really regret, because I ended up saying things to people who I, beforehand, really admired, that I severely regretted. And to the people who I did say those things to, I sincerely apologise. I think they know who they are, if they are watching this video, which they may or may not be. But I think what I learned from that is that if something doesn't feel right to you, then you probably shouldn't say it. Like, it doesn't matter if your friends are saying it's an okay and right thing to do. If you in yourself aren't confident that it's the right thing to do, don't do it. Because I was egged on by some of the people I was around at that time, to say certain things, and I severely regretted it because I ended up saying things to people, as I said, that I really respected and loved their content up until that point in some cases, who I just totally disrespected, and I sincerely apologise to those people. The way it all came to a head was basically there was some drama to do with one of the other people within this circle and one of my friends, and I was basically accused of not taking a side and basically being a backstabber and this whole thing. And I began to realise that my position with them wasn't very stable. And the thing that made me really think was, if I was cast as the Doctor, let's say they didn't know me at all, if I was cast as the Doctor, and obviously as you know I'm disabled, would they support me, or would they call me something like a diversity hire? I came to realise that if I was cast as a Doctor, they'd probably call me a diversity hire. And that really got me to think, like, this isn't the right place for me. It's not a place that supports my thoughts. It's not even a place that supports differing thoughts, because, at least in my mind, toxic communities like that are very much based on groupthink, where everyone must think the same way, and anyone who differs is in immediate danger from being exiled, if you like, from the rest of the group. And so it was with, obviously, the drama that was already going on, as well as me thinking about it, that I just, didn't want to associate with any of them anymore. And I didn't. And I've been a lot happier for it since. At the end of the day, regardless of what your politics are, it's not okay for that to justify insulting people, which, unfortunately, a lot of these things often boiled down to was just insults and childish, petty remarks. And it's things, as I said, that I really regret. But the reason I made this video is basically just to say, this isn't how I think anymore. It's a past that I don't look back on particularly fondly, and it in no way reflects my current opinion. You can still find the odd video where I'm talking with some of the individuals that I alluded to in this video, but just know that they don't reflect me as a person now. They are a product of a kid who thought they knew what they were doing, but was actually really naive and stupid. As well, I will say, if any of you haven't seen my content before, or if any of you have been hesitant to give me a chance because you thought I was one of these people, which I know there are plenty of people who think, or at least thought, that I was a Not My Doctor up until recently, then I'm not. So yeah, don't feel like I'm going to be one of those people, because I'm just not. That's basically what I wanted to say about my experiences as a Not My Doctor. I wanted to keep it relatively brief, because I kind of have said a lot of this already, but I guess the main message you can take away from this is don't try and be something that you're not to try and fit in, and always stick to your own morals, and don't try and be influenced by anyone else. You do you, essentially, is what this boils down to. But with that said, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a like, comment down below your thoughts, and subscribe if you're new. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.